Life's never perfect. Beauty runs deeper than the surface. Album on sale, but the soul not for purchase. Birth this ill style with mild symptoms. It gets them ecstatic. I'm a shock to the system. Warrior. Battle scarred, yet these bars hard. Thus became an author, not the aardvark. I say, this the hard part. Restarted the lost art. Can make a smash from the mouth. I'm an all-star. Like this, like switch. Life is priceless. Like this, like switch. Life is priceless. Hit the light switch if you need a light switch. Like this, right quick for the night shift. I got the light, we got the light, we got the light switch. Sacrifice a ticket to the afterlife. My mission isn't done on earth. Alert the jerseys versus fuel my appetite. I have the right insight. World needs the facts of life. Healthy as an apple slice. This what real rappers like. International. Took a vacation. Still working on my sabbatical. Casual but tactical. Listen up, please. I'm more than a chess piece. Pawn starving a bargain for scraps while the rest eat. Left me to fend for myself. And I conquered where the wild things are with the monsters. As the earth keeps turning. Lies keep turning. My eyes see burning. Fire desire acquired, I'm blessed as 3 sermons. Speaking that breeze, defeat vermin. Billie Jean, you can see the light. Every step that I take, walk with a glow, kept to my fate. Like this, like switch, like this, priceless. Like this, like switch, like this, priceless. Hit the light switch if you need a light switch. Like this, right quick for the night shift. I got the light, we got the light, we got the light switch. Shine on, young king, with the gleam of a colorful dreamer. Clean by the redeemer, queens of radiant demeanor. Beams of light, I know you've seen us. Shine bright through the zeitgeist. Banking on jewels, hit a nice heist. Drop a few gems, then ignite mics. Land of the free, but it comes for the slight price.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Res Racing League. My name is Pixel Thomas, and today is just me, myself, and I, as we are getting ready for another Tier 1 race here on Abu Dhabi. I'm sorry for the late start. We've had quite the rough start with the EA servers for today. But here we are. Hopefully the audio is working. There we go. Beautiful. But yeah, today we have 13 drivers on the grid, of which, of course, it is part of a sprint race. Where we will have the sprint qualifying right now, which is a shorter qualifying than the normal one. And, yeah. Then we'll have our sprint race, followed by the actual qualifying, followed by the actual race. So, a lot more racing action for today. So, do make sure you get yourself some drinks, some snacks, as we are getting ready to watch the show unfold. That should work. There we go. Now I can see everybody. What up, Jordy? But I hope everybody is having a great evening so far, no matter where you are from. Well, Batman is the first to set a time, as we have a few others closing in quick. Right, we are on board with Sealand right now, as Nat Northern is about a second behind. CWL following pretty close behind Matman. What will Sealand do? He will get P3. Very close behind CWL. Max got his lap invalidated. Tico with a 123.7. What about Dutch Drix? He still has quite the battery left as he finds himself in P5 with a 123.7. Max just started his lap. What about Mr. Pizza? What? Fastest second sector, so that is looking pretty good so far. He is working his way through Sector 3. I hope the video and audio is okay. As Mr. Pizza sets A 123.2, finding himself on pole right now. Grace is caught in quite some traffic that he has to work through if he is fast enough. Janice is a bit further back with between Pure Ace and Janice, as Lumbergumber and Arthur are both on their out laps. So let's see how they will perform. To see this correctly, Pure Ace is on mediums. Probably wants to set a pretty good hot lap on a little bit worse tires, so all he can do is improve. Going a bit wide there, lap still counts. No validation. Oh, as he almost flies out, and that is P8 for Pure Ace, 124. As we have Max with a 123, Janice with a 123.3, right ahead of them all. With Mr. Pizza currently on pole with a 123.2, Janice with a 123.3, Batman with a 123.4, FCWL with a 5. What about Lumbergumber? And Arthur, who is a bit further ahead. Lumbergumber gets the fastest first sector. Arthur is gunning it down the second straight. Looking pretty good. Fastest second sector for Arthur. Is Lumbergumber able to snipe it a bit later on? As we can already see that Arthur's battery is near depleted already. What about Lumbergumber? His battery is also very, very low. Getting the fastest second sector. There we go. Arthur past the finish line. What will it be? It will be P11 for Arthur with a 124.4 as Lumbergumber is speeding it down sector 3. 2 more corners to go. That is 1 and that is 2 as he lines himself up for the finish right here. And his lap will be a 123.1. Oh, so close to sub 23. But that is pole for Lumbergumber. As we have a few others already on the way to improve their times, of which one is Mr. Pizza. Early P2 kind of messed up their braking zone right there. But all he can do is gun it down, keep going, never giving up. As he was already pretty close to his previous time. Is he able to improve? It will be a hard one. And he is able to get the sub 23. Mr. Pizza finds himself back on pole. What about Janice, the only one on his hot lap? Making his way through sector 2. About on pace with his previous time, also on the mediums. Really pushing the track limits throughout Sector 3 that I can see, but he is still going hard. Is Janice able to improve himself that little bit to find himself on P2 or possibly pole? He is not lower than his previous time. He will stay on P3 for now. But we have Matman currently in P4, getting ready to go on his hot lap. As he has a bit of rough exit throughout the last corner. Onto the finish straight as he starts his hot lap right now. We have 2.5 minutes to go. All right so far. Working his way through the chicane. I always struggle with it, but he's looking good so far. Down the second straight. He will have a little bit of traffic, but that isn't all that good as Mr. Pizza retires from the session as Patman gets the fastest second sector. On his soft tire. First, he wanted a pretty fast time. Do note that in the sprint qualifying, they have less tires able to use. So what will it be? For Matman on the faster tires, is he able to improve himself? As we go through the last corner, it's looking pretty fast, as that is pole for Matman. Probably for the sprint race, we'll have Matman leading the, I guess, first grid as he starts on pole. What about Tico? Tico is also known to be faster, but he has reduced harvesting. Battery's almost full. I think he's going to go for another hot lap. As Dutch Tricks is almost done. Not the fastest. Still enough for P4, beating Janice, who is still in the pits. What about CWL? 10th ahead already through Sector 1. What about Max? Is he able to improve himself? Just barely. He is absolutely pushing himself, getting the fastest second sector. As I think that got sniped by a different car. It was indeed so. Faced Carrot with 0.2 of an improvement compared to his previous time. Janice will not be able to set another lap as he remains in the pit, as we have about 5 seconds remaining within the sprint qualifying. There we go. That is P6 for Phase Geared. Dutch Tricks is still gunning down. Not the fastest. Dylan is on a banger lap, improving himself with 4/10 already. Everybody keeps sniping the fastest second sector. Dylan is improving big time. Pure A's manages to find himself P9 currently with a 1:23.57. Dylan able to improve? I bet so. Looking really good. Battery is near depleted. Here we go. Seelan will probably get the sub 23. Yes, he does with a 1:22.8. Finding himself in P2. Nat Northern has his lap invalidated. Arthur is about on pace with his previous time, as he will be the last one, I think, to set his lap time, and that is a 1:24.0, improving himself with 3/10, but not enough to win a position as Lumbergumber starts the sprint qualifying on pole, managing to snipe it just at the very last second. Now we are waiting for Nat Northern to go into the pits or die from the session. At least go across the finish line. But he is taking his sweet old time. Taking a bit of the touristic path. As he indeed goes into the pits. But yeah, our starting grid for the sprint race will be Lumbergumber pole, followed by Pat Matman and Seelan in the top 3. Then we have Mr. Pizza and Max for the top 5. Dutch Tricks, who won the last race, if I'm correct, with Face Care, Janice, CWO, and Tico on P10. And we have Pure Ace, Arthur, and Nat Northern in the back for P13. Now, if you ever feel like participating in these races, you can do so by joining our Discord, which you can find on all of our socials, or eresracingleague.com. We are always looking for new drivers to participate in these tiers, but also to be reserve drivers. If need be, we can hit you up so you can participate in these races as well. You're not committed to play a full season. But yeah, this is the grid for the sprint race. You're right here. But yeah, if you ever feel like participating, please do join the Discord. We will gladly help you further to assign you to the correct tier that you want to be. Also, if you feel like commentating on these races, we are still looking for commentators, so also please do join the Discord, which you can find on all of our socials or eresracingleague.com. Apply there, say that you want to become a commentator, and I will gladly help you further to set you all up to be commentating on this league very fast. But yeah, currently we're waiting for everybody to pick their sprint race strategy. Will probably not be anything too special. But yeah, it is nighttime, as it is always here in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, race start will be any second now. Alright, all the drivers have lined up on the grid with their chosen strategy as we will start the formation lap right now. Sorry for the wrong word choice, but the formation lap around the track as we get ready for the sprint race start. This should be a 10-lap sprint race if I'm correct, which will be a nice short burst of action as we then will be going into the official qualifying for the official. It is looking pretty favorable for the Mercedes today as we have both of them in the top 3. Of course, pole position by Lumbergumber and P3 for Seelenbox. That is a pretty cool shot with everybody weaving in front and behind Seelan as he's just driving a straight line. Playing it cool, playing it steady. This probably plans on warming his tires down sector 3. Alright, that is the formation lap for the sprint race. Everybody is lining up on the grid as Nat Northern in the back is also joining in on the grid. Hopefully he will have a good race start to catch himself up to the people in the front. Of course, the sprint race is a lot shorter than the official race, so a lot has to happen if you want to make anything work for the sprint race. Lights are turning on, and any second now we are getting ready to start the race right here in Abu Dhabi, and here we go. Lights out, and it's looking good for Seelan, who has planted himself right back behind Matman as he kind of pushes Lumbergumber off track as Lumbergumber moves down from pole to P4 as he is fighting back with Mr. Pizza, who are side by side right now. It is looking to go the way of Lumbergumber. We don't know if Mr. Pizza will bomb himself down the inside. It will look like he will do so, as it seems like Lumbergumber is dropping down even further as Dutchrix has now come knocking on the back of Lumbergumber as Lumbergumber tries to catch the slipstream of Mr. Pizza to try and make it work as Seelan is trying to attack Matman as we go down the chicane between the straights, possibly looking for the switchback. Is it paying off though? He has a way better exit. Seelan now trying to overtake Matman down the straight. It seems to be about equal, both probably burning through their battery, as it seems like it will be going the way of Matman as he's still staying ahead. But the attack has not gone off as Seelan places himself on the outside of Matman. Slight contact between the two as it seems to be a very close battle. Matman going wide as he is unable to stay ahead of Sealand as Sealand takes the lead through lap 1 as Mr. Pizza is able to overtake Mapman as well. Lumbergummer about 4/10 difference between the two. Arthur and Nat Northern are fighting for the back as we have Tico and CWL fighting for the P6. But Jan is real close to the back of Max. Be able to get back to it and go on the attack. Close. Here we go. The arrest has been enabled as Janice go for the attack on the first straight on Max as he makes it work. Clean overtake according to the book as we have Pure Ace bombing himself down the inside for... Oh, what a messy corner that is. Face Scared goes back down one position further. As it is now the two Ferraris working their way through the field. Jen is around the outside of Max. Max is struggling to stay ahead of him as he keeps dropping further. Janice has a better line around the outside. Way more speed. Slight contact between the two. Almost. Janice spinning out as he gets forced off track as Max manages to stay ahead. As we have Pure Ace now on the back of Janice as, of course, he wants to get by as soon as possible. Oh, a bit white there from Janice. That will be track limits as we have a lot of fastest times coming in. Seems to be going the way of Lumbergumber, who is trying to stick as close as possible to Mr. Pizza and Sealand to try and get back that race lead on which he started on. Getting close to the back of Pure Ace. Pure Ace is also burning through his battery, it seems, as both of their batteries are completely depleted. Oh, Face Kid coming from afar, bombing himself down the inside as he almost loses control of the car, as that will cost him yet another position as he finds himself into the wall. That is the end of his front wing, as it seems like Nat Northern is also struggling to find grip on track as Face Scared DNF'd on the track. That is not allowed. That could cause a safety car if he's not careful, as we have Arthur around the inside of Pure Ace. Oh my god, that is a lot of contact between the two. Pure Ace does not want to let go of that position. He is struggling to stick close behind as he was fighting it back so hard. Seems like Nat Northern is still struggling quite a bit. From what I saw, he might have some front wing damage. As Pure Ace will try and go on the offense yet again. As Tico, currently in P7, is the first one to get a penalty. Track limits. Arthur, will he have a shot here? He will have DRS. Max has gotten outside of the DRS. Is he able to keep him behind him as CBL drops down one position because of Tico using the DRS to overtake him, as we are now on board with Arthur as he found himself into the wall. At the very end of the second straight, I didn't really see what happened right there. But that is not good at all. That is a sprint race killer for Arthur, as he lost most of his front wing. The race will keep the offense on Max, as we are now going into yet another lap. Laps 5, if I'm correct, for the sprint race. About halfway done, as it seems like Pure Ace started on the hard tire on a sprint race. That is an odd choice. It seems like he is struggling big time because of it. As Arthur goes into the pit and probably will retire is what I'm predicting. Indeed, he has retired from the session into the pit lane as is supposed to be. Dutch Tricks getting pretty close to the DRS train we have going on from P1 all the way down to P8. Seems like Mr. Pizza worked his way almost in front of Sealand down the DRS straight, the second DRS straight, as we are working our way through the very technical section, Sector 3 of the Abu Dhabi circuit, just Marina circuit. As it seems like Mr. Pizza is able to pull away quite nicely. I don't think that he is able to keep it like that due to the DRS zone coming up rather soon. Already 5/10 between them. He is making great work of that time. Is he able to pull away even further? He is struggling to do so. Sealand has quite the pace, has to slipstream a little bit from what I can see, as he is also using very tiny bit of ERS to try and get close, as Matman is falling outside of the DRS as we have a battle going on the entry of the straight between Dutch Tricks and Matman, as it seems that Matman will be falling right back behind, all luckily managing to stay within the DRS. Sealand on the offense again, getting closer through the chicane, isn't able to make it work. Tico overtaking Matman yet again, as it seems. But, of course, there is a second DRS zone. Here we go, coming in hot from Sealand, overtaking Mr. Pizza around the outside as we go through the corner, and it seems to be the going the way of Sealand as he manages to stay ahead of Mr. Pizza. This pizza's sticking like really close. Are also saving up his battery, which is looking good. Using it to stick close, make it seem as he is able to overtake on any given moment, putting pressure on Sealand, who has saved up even more battery from what I can see. Montgomery is following behind, just cruising, playing it safe, saving his tires, saving his battery, as Mr. Pizza will probably go on the offense down this DRS straight as well. He will probably not go for the overtake right here in front of the DRS zone. But here we go, sticking close, not really draining his battery all that much, using the DRS to stick as close as possible. As Sealand has used a little bit of his DRS or ERS, as Mr. Pizza will go for it. He wasn't sure to go for it, but he is trying to side by side, sticking real close. And of course, Mr. Pizza will have the DRS as he is already besides and ahead of Sealand. As Lumbergummer will try to do the same, I think both Mercedes will do a swap, as it seemed like Lumbergummer had a better path, better speed to go on the offense on Mr. Pizza again. The halfway safer line, better line for Lumbergummer as Mr. Pizza plays it defensively, closing off the racing line, not leaving any gap for Lumbergummer to get past. As it seems like Mr. Pizza is struggling to find a little bit of grip, but he is managing to stay ahead with about 3 to 4 tenths difference. What a train we see right here. As Nat Northern is still driving with front wing damage, just cruising his way, not really, I guess, trying all that much. Lumbergummer will stay close. Sealand has dropped back quite a bit further, not being in attacking range. As we have Mr. Pizza, who is using all his ERS to try and stay ahead. As Lumbergummer will use the DRS to close the gap, play it safe on his hard tires. These tires you aren't able to push as much as Mr. Pizza on the medium tires. But he is sticking close, making good use of his ERS, making good use of his DRS, as both are using the ERS about the same. Both are on equal levels, but Lumbergummer is sticking close enough. I think he might play it for the long game, saving it all up for one big bang down the last lap, as we are slowly working our way into lap 9. Really clean and smooth line from Lumbergummer. Using that to get a little bit closer without using any ERS. Saving his battery, saving his tires. As he remains close. It will be the question on when he will attack. Will he risk it right now? And will he have to keep the Mr. Pizza behind him for one more lap? Or will he play it safe and use it all to try and overtake down the last lap? Lumbergummer getting closer, down the chicane. Will he go for the overtake right here? He is already getting real close, having a little bit of a worse exit right there. Using quite the battery. Using the DRS. Battery is draining quick as he plans to go for the overtake right now around the outside. Will he have enough space to do so? Mr. Pizza sticking in the inside. Slight track limits for Mr. Pizza, trying to play it as defensive as possible, as both are still going side by side throughout Sector 3. It will be Lumbergummer who has the inside, giving enough space to Mr. Pizza as they are still remaining side by side through 4, 5 corners. Will Lumbergummer be able to do so? He will have the inside throughout the next 2 corners. Mr. Pizza almost behind him, but still managing to find the speed to get ahead throughout the last corner. Lumbergummer has a better exit, remaining side by side, but it seems to be going the way of Mr. Pizza. I'm not sure. Maybe the switch back from Lumbergummer doesn't seem to be doing that as he sticks close. He has saved up quite the battery while both have saved up the battery, but it will all be coming down to this, down the 2 straights that we have coming up, as it is Dutch Tricks and Sealand joining in the mix, with Dutch Tricks bombing himself down the corner as he now finds himself in P2. Lumbergummer is sticking side by side with him. He will have the outside corner using his ERS, using his DRS, as Dutch Tricks is playing it a little bit safer still, sticking around the inside. It will be really close for them to make it through, but it seems to be working as Lumbergummer manages to get ahead. Sealand will also try around the outside as we have them going 3 cars wide down the straight. But how will it work throughout this corner? Sealand is dropping further down. 2 positions lost, 3 positions lost, as everybody is scrambling to win positions. Mr. Pizza has used this battle between Tico, Dutch Tricks, and Lumbergummer to get a second ahead. This is exactly what he wanted. A battle for people trying to gain as much positions as possible, as it will be going the way of Mr. Pizza winning the sprint race, with Lumbergummer right back behind. And Dutch Tricks in P3 because Tico sadly received the 3-second track limits penalty. What a race. Wow. And that for that short amount of time, as we have Max and then Nat Northern making his way down the straights, as he will give everybody the time to calm down, collect themselves after that insane ending. Lone Kick Sauber working his way through the sectors as we are about to enter the qualifying for the official race. And there we go, the car with front wing damage making it over the finish line. Because if you look at it like this, even if you finish the race 40, 50 seconds behind, you're still doing better than the people that have DNF'd, of which one is Arthur, of which the other one is here. But here are the results for the sprint race. We have Mr. Pizza finding himself leading the race for most of it, having a banger gap between him and Lumbergummer down the last few corners. And we have Lumbergummer, Dutch Tricks, P2 and P3, Pat Matman and Janice top 5, with CWL, Sealand, Tico, Pure Ace, and Max for the top 10. Nat Northern being just outside of the top 10, with Arthur and Face Scared having DNF'd. There we go into the short qualifying for the official race. All right, we can see the first few cars getting ready to leave the pit boxes as we are getting ready for the qualifying for the official race. As here we go, multiple cars leaving the pit box at the same time. It seems like Sealand is the first one out. All right, Mr. Pizza and Sealand, both serious contenders for the sprint race win. Of course, Mr. Pizza won it in the end. Are both out the first on track with Pat McMahon following pretty close behind. I love to see this. All the drivers, while we were waiting to load into qualifying, have all congratulated each other on the great race, on the sprint race, because man, that was really, really good. Great battle between all of them. Here we go, Sealand. Being the first to start his hot lap, followed by Mr. Pizza. It seems that someone on their outlap are still following Sealand pretty close behind. I don't know who that is, but it is a Haas, so that must be Arthur on his outlap, just trying to stay close to Sealand, because why not? Pretty good so far from Sealand. But of course, the first times that roll in won't be the times that will keep sticking, because everybody will keep on improving themselves. We go, about 10% battery remaining, enough for the short spurt down to the finish line, as that will be a 1:23.3. Still a really impressive time from Sealand as being the first. What will Mr. Pizza do? Lap didn't count? I think he got his lap invalidated at the very, very end. Oh no, poor buddy. As we, I guess, go on board with CWL and Jenna's, as they will probably be the next ones to set their time. But what will Nan Northern do? Ended up P11 during the sprint race. Started in the very back, if I'm correct. Will he be able to improve his time? It seems that he will be able to improve himself slightly with a 1:24.6. Pat McMahon with a 1:23.7. As we have CWL being the next one to be there. Almost a sub 23 with a 123.1. It's getting his lap invalidated yet again. How will Janice perform compared to the rest? It might seem like a 123 low. Indeed, a 123.33. Slightly behind Sealand, who has a 123.0. Next up, Arthur. 124 probably, indeed, a 124.3, as we have a lot of people going to set their times right now. With CWL having the 123.1, Sealand a 123.3, Jeniz a 123.33, Max with a 123.4, Bamaman with a 23.7, Purees with a 23.9, Arthur with the 24.3, and Nat Arthur with the 4.6. Next up we have who is on his out lap right now, and we'll probably soon start with his hot lap if all things go well. Playing it safe, playing it smooth down these corners. Probably wanted to let the Ferrari pass, but he noticed it's not is of no use. As we go with Tico on his hot lap right now, as he has a Ferrari close behind. I don't know who that was. I think that was Pure Ace, but he hasn't really been able to improve himself. What will Tico do? Known as a pretty fast driver from the very first time I met him. How will he perform next to the other GOATs of this league, who we've seen had a great battle? That's his first sector so far for Tico. That is nice. His teammate, Dutch Tricks, giving him a tow. Down the straight. Great teamwork between the two. I already was wondering what are they doing, but that is some great teamwork between the two as Tico manages to get the fastest second sector. However, his battery is almost drained. This might pose some serious problem down the third sector, as there are slight moments that you'd want to use the battery. 20% remaining. He might be able to squeeze it through till the very end, as it is looking to be a 122 if he pushes it. And yes, indeed, a 120.8 with Tico finding himself currently on pole. As here we go, Dutch Tricks, his teammate, just successfully landed his other teammate on the pole. Where will he land himself? Will Tico give him the tow right now? As we do have a Mercedes following right behind. However, they're on their outlap. Dutch Tricks finding himself the fastest first sector. Will Tico give him the tow? Seems like he might. And yes, indeed, they are both working together big time. As it seems like Dutch Tricks gave the better tow to Tico than Tico to Dutch Tricks, but it's still looking like it gained quite the time. No fastest second sector from what I could see. But it's all in the ending. How will Dutch Tricks ending go? That is the question, but it's looking pretty clean so far, with about the same battery remaining as Dutch Tricks had together with Tico, but kind of wheel spin throughout the sector. Will he be able to save it? Seems to be a 123 low, with it being a 123.2, finding himself in P3. Feeling currently on his hot lap right now, as we also see Mr. Pizza going for yet another try to set a lap time. Feeling about the same pace as before. Currently in P5, is he able to improve himself just slightly? As it seems like he hit that DRS sign. As yes, he did indeed. Taken extremely close to the track limits throughout the entire straight. That is something I noticed already with Sealand. He is sticking real close to the track limits, trying to take an as efficient line as possible. Looking pretty good. Will he get blocked by the Racing Bull? I hope not. Yes, he won't. That is good, as we might have the Red Bull ahead as they make way as well for Sealand, who is blasting it down the last sector. Has a little bit more battery compared to the Red Bulls, as he is unable to improve, half a second behind. Dutch Tricks also got dropped down a bit further as Matt Mann joined the mix, finding himself in P2. As it seems like Pure's made a slight mistake on his hot lap. Went a bit wide down the corner after the straight. Probably missed a braking zone, as we will be going on board with Mr. Pizza as he sets 120 through 8.9. All these times oh so close together. Tico an 8.1, Matman an 8.2, Pizza 8.9. Wow. Close times. Love to see it. But how will Lumbergumber compare to them all? Lumbergumber getting the fastest first sector, receiving a tow from, it seems his team, no, never mind, a McLaren. As the McLaren gives way, that is pretty nice of the McLaren, which is Mr. Pizza, to give a slight tow to Lumbergumber. The legend of this league right here, as we are going on board as he works his way down to second straight. No fastest second sector. This is still looking pretty clean down sector 3. But you will have to push it to make it a 122, and he does, being the one to get on pole with a 122.7. Lumbergumber does it again. But let's see if he's able to keep hold of that pole position. Unlike the sprint race where he started on pole but instantly lost it down the first lap. Everybody's in the pits right now. As we watch a lone car drive the track. We have Red Bull, which is, I think, Dutch Tricks, going on his outlap. Right. Move over to the other lone car on track. As it seems like, are these? Yeah, it's Max right now as well on track. A bit further back, but I feel like Tico might be going out soon enough to help his teammate properly with the tow. As we have a Ferrari going out as well. But it doesn't seem like his teammate will be going out as well. Oh, he will, but just a bit too late. Oh, this is probably waiting a bit for exactly that reason. It will be a close one for Tico to stay ahead with fast enough pace. Those were clearly track limits, but apparently it doesn't matter. As indeed, Tico is up ahead, getting ready to give Dutch Tricks the toe that he needs. Look at the two Red Bulls working together. This is not something that we see very often within the ERS Racing League. There we go. Indeed, Tico giving the beautiful toe that Dutch Tricks needs, but Dutch Tricks has a lot more overspeed. Already using this time to save up his ERS a bit, as he gets back ahead after he sets the fastest second sector. Will he be able to improve? Currently in P6 with a 23-2. This is looking pretty good. Yes, indeed. It will be pole for Dutch Tricks, finding himself 300ths of a second faster. As it's currently Tico's turn to improve himself. Both Red Bulls in the top 3. Will we see improvements? Max is up a 10th so far. He was complaining that he was blocked after he was up half a second compared to his previous time. But it will be a 1:23.3. An improvement, but not an improvement to win a position. What about Tico having his lap invalidated, so he will just play it safe. Probably going for yet another lap instantly right after. What about Arthur? Improvement, yeah, I think Max is done for today. I think we are close to the end of qualifying, but it's also just like not exactly what he wanted for today. Because we have both Arthur and Nat Northern out on their hot lap, as it seems like they have about equal pace. But it seems like Arthur is able to pull away just a bit. Indeed, 10 seconds remaining. Everybody is on their hot lap right now, as the track is filled to the brim. Basecard is the only one to not set a time for the qualifying. I don't know exactly the reason, but he might have some reason for it. There we go. Arthur will probably get a 1:24 again, is what I'm guessing. Never mind. Half a second improvement for Arthur, with over half a second of improvement for Nat Northern, barely finding himself outside of the 23s. Is Salen able to improve so far? 4/10 is looking good. Might have a shot at pole position if he keeps this up. It will be close though, because Dutch Tricks has set a banger of a lap. And of course, the teammate of Sealand, Lumbergumber, is also still on a hot lap, which he will probably improve with. But that is P5 for Sealand with a 1:22.8. Now what about Lumbergumber? The last one to set his time got his lap invalidated, sadly. So that will be it. Matman on pole, sniping Dutch Tricks' time away with a 22.4. Banger overlap from Matman right now. 0.3 of a second faster between P1 and P2 on a tier where everybody is so close together regarding pace. But then we have Dutch Tricks P2, Lumbergumber P3, Tico P4, Sealand P5, and Mr. Pizza, Miss CWL, Janice, Max, and Pure Ace to close off the top 10. with Arthur, Nat Northern, and then the one who hasn't set a time, Face Carrot, and P13. So this will be the starting grid for the official race. Use this time to get yourself a drink, get yourself some snackos as we get ready to load into the official race. I will get myself some to cleanse this throat. Here we are loading into the race as it seems to possibly will go rain. That is not something we'd want. Dylan congratulates Matman for getting his pole position without a tow, as it seemed to be quite the strategy for today between teams and players. Here we go, start of the formation lap. Finally, it's time for the chaos to unfold. As we have Matman currently leading the race, starting on pole, with Dutch Tricks right behind, and Lumbergumber, the person starting on pole for the sprint race in P3. Like a little bit of sun is coming through the clouds, so we might keep it dry for today. Let's see the tire situation of everybody that is starting. We have most of the people starting on mediums, as we have P6 to P9 all starting on hards. Mr. Pete, TWL, Janice, and Max taking the gamble and playing on a different strategy. We can see the strategy for Matman right now, starting on the mediums, and they probably bet that he will go twice on the hards. It's quite interesting, 2 hards. As all the cars are lining back up on the grid, as it seems like Face Carrot is not here. Seems like he has the AI drive for him. He hasn't set a time himself as well, as he will probably not be racing for today. Do not get worried about the disqualification for Dutch Tricks. He probably just parked his car wrong. He will still get the chance to race, possibly with cold tires though. I don't know what happens if you get disqualified the very, very end. As the ghost of Face Carrot is sparking up on the finish straight as we get ready for the start of the official race here in Abu Dhabi on the Yas Marina circuit. And he's second now, and it's lights out and away we go. It seems like Dutch Streaks has a great start. Already overtaken Matman right now. Almost colliding through first corner as Lumbergumber drops down as Tico flies by. As Matman and Dutch Streaks are still side by side. It's looking good. It's looking close. Will he be able to get by? It doesn't seem like he is able to. As Dutch Streaks uses the inside to get ahead. DRS has not been enabled so far as they remain side by side. Matman doesn't want to let go of that position as Tico is falling right back behind as Lumbergumber dropped down yet again 2 positions, finding himself in P6 now as he gets overtaken by Mr. Pizza down to second straight. Cars going through your right into the start of the second DRS zone. Of course, without the DRS being enabled, as Tico gets ahead and flies by. As Sealand tries to do the exact same, getting past a 1, which is Matman. But now it's the turn of Dutch Streaks. Will he be able to get by Dutch Streaks as they are still side by side with Matman? This time, Sealand will have the inside. Is he able to use that inside to get by and get ahead? It seems like he's able to as Matman bombs himself around the outside. Late braking works off, pays off so far for him as they are still remain side by side throughout Sector 3. This is almost an entire lap of the two of them being side by side as it seems to be going the way of Matman finally getting ahead at the end of lap 1. Tico almost on a second already ahead of Dutch Streaks. Both Red Bulls leading the race after lap 1. Face cared being the ghost, sadly. Mr. Pizza striking a pole because he didn't like it standing there as he tries to win some time compared to Sealand, bombing himself around the inside. Almost contact between the two. Was barely able to avoid it as Lumbergumber sticks close because of it now. Mr. Pizza having to take a pretty odd line, losing himself some speed compared to Lumbergumber, who uses his thumb to get close without the ERS, of course. Playing it safe, playing it for the long run. CWL loses a position compared to Pure Ace, who finds himself now in P7. As it seems like Arthur and Pure Ace are battling it out right now. Pure Ace made a slight mistake, I think, dropping himself down to P11. As we already have a second between CWL and Lumbergumber. P6 and 7 are already out of the DRS zone as CWL is fighting it back, however. Finding himself back within the DRS as Dutch Streaks currently in P2 gets the fastest lap as we have a Ferrari almost spinning out. And that is, I think, Pure Ace, who struggled to find a grip down through the last corner. As Mr. Pizza is on the ass of Sealand. Probably gonna bomb it down, never mind. Playing it fake, trying to force a mistake out of Sealand, which paid off. Sealand going a bit wider than expected. Now finds himself right next to the papaya-colored McLaren. Is he able to get by? It seems like Mr. Pizza is able to squeeze out a little bit more speed as we will now have Sealand trying to go around the inside. Slight contact between the two. It seems like Mr. Pizza is able to stay ahead. Switchback from Sealand. Is it paying off? I don't think so. His battery is almost drained. Mr. Pizza's battery is almost drained as well. They're about equal speed, equal exit, as it seems like Mr. Pizza is able to stay ahead. Whoa, bit of an odd braking zone right there as Sealand gets so close to colliding with the back of Mr. Pizza. Avoiding it barely. I think we had less than a few centimeters distance between the two. As both Red Bulls are still leading the race so far. Whoa, Sealand going a bit wide right there. I don't know what happened there, but it might be time for Lumbergumber to get by his teammate. Pure Ace being the first to receive a penalty. 3-second penalty for track limits as Lumbergumber will force himself down the inside of his teammate. Both are side by side, as it might be Sealand who squeezed out a little bit more speed, as both Mercedes are battling it out. You saw the bit of wiggles trying to force each other off the racing line, as it is Lumbergummer going around the inside right now. The angle here is horrible to watch. A battle going on. But let's see how it goes. It seems like Lumbergummer had the better exit than Sealand, as Lumbergummer gets by to chase Mr. Pizza, who is almost a second ahead already. As Mr. Pizza is hunting for yet another position down the inside of Matman. Has the better line, has the better speed, and it is Mr. Pizza finds himself currently in P3. Right back behind the two Red Bulls. Is he able to get by? He is putting on some serious pressure, closing the gap quite a bit compared to what Pat Matman was able to do. Where did Tico come from? He came from before, as he is now still leading the race. But Mr. Pizza is making it a close one. Already trying to attack his teammate, who is trying to defend Mr. Pizza from getting close to Tico. Rear Ace going into the pits already, probably to get rid of some damages that he might have received from the rough start that he had. As we have Mr. Pizza trying to stick as close as possible to the back of Dutch Tricks, as Dutch Tricks has saved up quite the battery to be able to pull away from Mr. Pizza using the toe and the DRS of Tico. As Mr. Pizza has a way better line down the exit of the straight, as he instantly negated all the time that Dutch Tricks won down the straight. Light wiggles, Dutch Tricks is really pushing himself a bit too early on the throttle, causing himself to get a little bit of wheel spin. As you can see that he is forcing himself a lot to try and stay ahead of Mr. Pizza, feeling the pressure from behind as you see that car getting closer and closer. But it seems like Dutch Tricks is able to stay ahead and still manage his battery in some way, to the point where Mr. Pizza will really have to try to get by. Here we go back into the straights, as Tico makes a mistake, flicking too hard on the steering wheel, causing himself to slide out a little bit and having Dutch Tricks have to brake for him. Which is, of course, not ideal when it's all about exit speed down the straight. Mr. Pizza forced to take the outside line, which is not ideal when there is another Red Bull right there to block that line. As he gets a better exit, is Mr. Pizza able to get by? Battery almost drained from Mr. Pizza. Dutch Tricks has a little bit more battery, which he's able to use to get back ahead. However, Mr. Pizza is known to have a great corner right here, but he is forced to run the outside. Dutch Tricks noticed it as he tried to close the gap for Mr. Pizza, but Dutch Tricks spun out. Slight damage between the two, contact, but luckily Dutch Tricks was able to save it quite a bit, as Mr. Pizza goes back to P2 and Lumbergummer gets basically a free overtake, almost a second behind Mr. Pizza already, currently in P3. Dutch Tricks decides to stay out, as he tries to stay relevant, tries to stay close enough so he can possibly attack back to get by and back behind his teammate. Max pitting as well. Pizza has come knocking on the back of Tico. Tico, who had his teammate protect him all this time from behind, from the dangers of the cars, is now under attack from Mr. Pizza. Mr. Pizza didn't have to battery to go for the overtake, but Mr. Pizza has a way cleaner line. throughout this corner right here, which he has shown that he is really competent with gaining a lot of time. As Tico manages to get ahead, brakes locking up a tiny bit. As Janice and Matman are battling it out, it seems like Matman has made quite a mistake, dropping himself down even further behind Janice, behind CWR right now. It isn't going well for Matman. What is going on, mister? I don't know what is going on. It's on medium tires. He has no front wing damage, yet he is actively losing positions and time. Oh, from what I see, Mr. Pizza had received a little bit of damage from Dutch Strick spinning out. Or something else has happened, which probably caused him to now lose some time compared to Tico. He will have to really struggle to try and stick as close as he can with that reduced downforce, that reduced cornering that he really, really needs to sectors like these, where you have a tight chicane into a straight. Of course, on the straight, it doesn't really matter. Then you want the least downforce. But throughout the corners, it can seriously cost you some time. As you can see that the gap is slowly starting to appear between Mr. Pizza and Tico. As it is now, instead of going between 1/10 and 3/10, it is now between 3/10 and half a second of a gap between Mr. Pizza and Tico. Seems like Lumbergummer is still struggling to stick close to the top two who are actively fighting it out, as we have Dutch Strick and both going into the pits. Going for probably an undercut. Much time with their tactic. Better pit stop. It seems to be going the way of Dutch Strix. Was still ahead of Sealand just a tiny bit. But it is pretty close as both cars to get out of the pits about the same distance as they were entering the pits. Mr. Pizza on the straight, finally making the move on Tico, as Mr. Pizza finds himself leading the race currently in lap 9 out of 29. Will he be able to keep it though, as we have the Red Bull instantly trying to attack back? About 50% battery as Mr. Pizza is burning through his, trying to stay ahead. Tico will have to come from quite a far, isn't able to make it work as Lumbergumber is now slowly but surely closing in. Dutch Strix instantly overtaking Nat Northern as Nat Northern drops down 2 positions throughout one chicane, as both the Red Bull and the Mercedes get by on those fresher tires. Oh, brakes locking up a tiny bit for Mr. Pizza. Lumbergumber getting real close to the back of Tico. Mr. Pizza might be in trouble. He has 50% battery remaining. Tico, with less battery, has the DRS. As it is Lumbergumber just saving up his battery, probably going to attack down the second DRS zone, as he remains about the same distance as he was before. Both of the others don't really have the battery that Lumbergumber has. Will he try to do so now? Yes, he will, but he probably won't be able to close the gap quite enough, as he needs to go for the overtake. As Sealand gets by Dutch Strix currently for P8. Great three-way battle between Mr. Pizza, Tico, and Lumbergumber for the race lead. Mr. Pizza using this time of Tico and Lumbergumber battling it out to try and get a second between them. So Tico will be a sitting duck and he will be safe from the DRS threat. As Tico goes into the pits, he didn't deem it necessary to battle it anymore. Probably trying to go for an undercut as well, going for the harder tire. as this Lumbergumber currently 1.7 seconds behind Mr. Pizza. Will he be able to win that time that he needs, as it is Mr. Pizza on the hard tires compared to Lumbergumber on the medium tires? The medium tires currently might have a little bit more speed, but definitely those hard tires will pay off. Already in the lead, and he is able to push a more consistent speed for consistent times for a longer period compared to Lumbergumber, whose tire will degrade soon probably. WL trying to make a move on Janice, both on the hard tires, about a second or two behind Janice. Or behind Lumbergumber, I meant. Here we go, CWL down to second straight on the inside. Pretty clean overtake. Janice gave him the space, even though he's attacking back right now. But yeah, that was a clean overtake. Both drivers respecting each other, giving the space, giving the opportunity. Because they know if they battle a lot longer, they'll probably lose more time, which they need to try and stay close to Lumbergumber, who is dropping even further behind Mr. Pizza, currently on 2.2 seconds. As it is CWL going into the pits as well, as Janice decides to stay out. Mr. Pizza, the race leader, has gone into the pits, where Lumbergumber on the mediums take the race lead, with Janice closing pretty soon behind. I'm surprised that Mr. Pizza decided to pit that early, even though he was on the hard tires. He was able to squeeze out a lot more time, and of course a lot more speed out of those hard tires. But decides to go for a different strategy. Finds himself now currently in P7, joining the fray. Let's see the tire situation right. We have Lumbergumber and Matman together with Nat Northern on 11 lap old mediums, with Janice on 11 lap old hards. Everybody else has kind of gone towards the hard tires except for Mr. Pizza and Faceguard. Pizza instantly overtaken Tico, who is also on the fresh hards, as Mr. Pizza is able to squeeze out a lot more speed out of those medium tires right now, right to the hard. Seems like Janice is able to win some time compared to Lumbergumber, even though they are about the same lap old tires. Lumbergumber on the mediums, where Janice is on the hards. Matman is also going into the pits. What will Sealand do? Sealand will decide to stay out. As Mr. Pizza currently finds himself in P5. Janice is able to get the DRS on Lumbergumber pretty quick. He has drained all of his battery though to get use of it, but he will have 2 DRS zones coming up, so he will be able to probably have an opportunity to go for the overtake on Lumbergumber, as both their batteries are completely drained. Janice, however, will have the DRS, as he is having a lot more speed compared to Lumbergumber. However, it will be at the very end of the straight. He will not risk it right now, having a little bit of a cleaner line compared to Lumbergumber, who you could see was sliding a tiny bit into entry of that corner, as it is Janice already looking to get past through Sector 3, which is often not the best place to go for the overtake, as it is a pretty technical and especially right here, a tight section. Nico receiving a 3-second penalty. Pizza has already come knocking on the back of Sealand, as we have Janice getting real close to the back of Lumbergumber. You can see right here, the gap is about the same between the two. So Janice already sticking real close, using the battery to already get by Lumbergumber. who is just saving up his battery. He knew Janice was faster, so he will probably use the slipstream to stick close a little bit. And down the second DRS zone, will use the DRS and ERS to fight back. As that is indeed the strategy. Will he be able to make it work? Coming from afar, has a lot more speed. I think the best he can do is slot right back behind and wait for next lap to go for the attack. So Pizza on Seelan around the outside, has a lot more speed. Seelan giving him the space to slot right back behind, try and get that slipstream, because of course Seelan doesn't want to battle too much, lose too much time, because he has Tico and Dutch Streaks, both Red Bulls who have shown that they have incredible pace, right back behind him. We're going into the pits, joining the mix as Mr. Pizza gets in second place right now with the fastest lap. And that man getting the fastest lap instead, sniping it away from Mr. Pizza, as Mr. Pizza made an 11-second gap into a 7.5 second gap. Already greatly improving compared to Janice, who is on those old hard tires. Or are these? No, these aren't indeed hard. I apologize. As we have a two-way battle. Tico and Seelan both battling it out as Seelan tries to get by Mr. Pizza. Trying to get away from Tico, who is actively on the offense right now, trying to get by Seelan. Seelan right now trying to get by Mr. Pizza, who has drained all his batteries side by side. Mr. Pizza will have the inside, will have the better line. As Tico decides to play it safe, he will wait a second. Try and do it later on. Try and get by. He has plenty of laps to do so, so he will just wait to strike at the right moment. Tico with a smoother line compared to Seelan. Pizza already on 5.8 seconds. Janice is in serious trouble if he decides to stay out. Seelan going extremely right now as Man sets another fastest lap. 5.2 seconds behind CWL, who is currently finding himself in P6. Oh, Mr. Pizza seems to have made a mistake, going a bit wide, sliding a bit out at the exit into the straight. Seelan will use this opportunity to try and stick close with the DRS to possibly attack down the second straight. The gap is a bit too far between the Red Bull and the Mercedes to get by the McLaren, but it will probably happen soon. Yeah, Seelan is in trouble. He is too far away to try and overtake Mr. Pizza before Tico tries to get by. Tico has to wait yet again as Seelan is burning up his battery, burning up his tires to try and get by Mr. Pizza, who is still gaining on Janice every second. Seelan receiving a 3-second penalty, just like Tico. So the two battling it out right now are about equal when it comes to penalties. Mr. Pizza has been able to get a second between him and Seelan. Seelan, however, using a bit of ERS to try and get close again, as Mr. Pizza is hopefully out of the danger zone for this straight. But what about next one? Mr. Pizza doesn't have the battery left to try and defend himself throughout the next zone, as they are still winning time compared to Janice. Tico places himself right beside Seelan down into the chicane between the DRS zones, and it seems to have paid off. Seelan doesn't have the battery really, but Tico has dropped outside of the DRS zone as Sealand wins the time right back as he finds himself back in P3. Janice finally decides to go into the pits. Same with Sealand, who is going to pit for a second time. Once again, pitting for the hard tires into the mediums. So I think that is 2 hard tires for already. That is quite impressive when it comes to burning through tires. And it is both Red Bulls back on the podium. P2 and P3 assigned to their slots as Tico is still winning time compared to Mr. Pizza, I think. But it is pretty tight squeeze. It is Mr. Pizza on the hard tires as is Tico on the mediums. As no, wait, never mind. Mr. Pizza on the mediums as it is Tico on the hards. Both are about equally new, equally fresh. But it seems that Tico is able to win some time even though he is on the harder compound. It is Dutch Street struggling to stick close to his teammate. Barely able to stick within the second as long as he can keep it through down to the second DRS zone, as it is Tico also struggling to find the time to get close to Mr. Pizza. Both are struggling to find the grip, find the exit speed, as Tico has lost 1/10 of a second just now throughout Sector 3. Arthur also going into the pits. Montgomery gains the free position because of it. Now what do I spy with my little eye? It is CWL joining the battle for the podium on way fresher hards. Tico unable to win the time needed to Pizza to get back into the DRS zone, as it is CWL trying to stick close. Made a slight mistake right there, causing in a little bit of time to stay outside of the DRS zone. But how long will they be able to get ahead of that Williams, who is currently finding himself in P4 on a 1.3 second gap? Tico finally finds himself within the second. Next DRS zone that they are able to grab. It will pay off as Dutch Strix and Mr. Pizza both go into the pits. Mr. Pizza saw that the relative time compared to him was within the second. He was like, I'm not going to give them a tow and have to burn my tires to try and stay ahead. It will be faster if I pit. It will be more beneficial if I pit. And thus Mr. Pizza and Dutch Strix both have pitted. Try and land themselves the best shot, trying to battle it out for 9 more laps on way fresher tires compared to the rest, which Tico is probably planning on finishing this race on the hard compound. Same with CWL, same with Patman and Lumbergumber, who has come from afar and is slowly working his way through the field. entire field is quite spread out, so we do not have much action. But I think the action that we might see quickest is possibly Mr. Pizza and Sealand. As Mr. Pizza tries to work his way through on the hard compound, same as Dutch Tricks right now. Seems like, wait, I just noticed. I think the Red Bull is wider than the McLaren. I think so indeed. I just noticed it. Umber is also seemingly able to win some time compared to Matman, as Matman is trying to stick close to WL, trying to get ahead of Lumbergumber, trying to stay ahead, I should add, as of course he wants to have a shot at a possible race win. Tico had a 3-second penalty, currently into the pits as CWL takes the race lead. He was getting awfully close to the back of Tico, as Tico didn't want to give them the DRS to win some time, as Tico also goes into the hard tires. As we only have 7 laps left to go, as Lumbergumber now finds himself within the second, as it will probably be the end of Matman, as Lumbergumber will get the DRS to probably get by. Lumbergumber has used quite some ERS to get close. But same for Matman. Matman is out of battery percentage. So it will purely be the use of the DRS to get himself close in attacking range. So you might have an overtake happen already. Matman using up all his battery to try and stay ahead. I think Lumbergumber is playing the long game. Just playing it safe, saving his tires, saving his battery. Try it in a bit. He has DRS either way. He is in the slipstream. He is able to tag along enough to go for the attack later on. Pure Ace getting another 3-second penalty if I'm correct. DWL also going into the pits. So it is Matman currently leading the race with 6 laps to go, as Lumbergumber is putting the pressure on him, trying to get by, trying to force a mistake out of that Racing Bull. Mr. Pizza also finds himself within the second of Sealand, who already has a penalty. Just wants to get by as soon as possible, as Lumbergumber currently is showing himself in the mirrors of Matman, trying to force a mistake out of him, making it seem like he is going on the inside, as we might have ourselves an overtake right here. Matman out of battery percentage as Lumbergumber gets by with the DRS, as that is a smooth overtake with the use of DRS down the DRS zone. Mr. Pizza sadly getting a track limit penalty as he tries to get by Sealand, going a bit wider than expected, as he just wants to get by. This is not paying off for him. He is now about equal with Sealand regarding the penalties, as he just wants to get by. This is a position that he does not want to lose. They're outside of the danger of Dutch Tricks, who is 3 seconds behind, so it is just a battle for the position right now. Going very wide once again, missing the race line. As Lumbergumber already finds himself a second ahead of Matman. Quite impressive indeed from Lumbergumber. Go Mr. Pizza on the offense of Sealand, going around the outside. on the first DRS zone, that is quite tricky. If he is able to stay behind the Ghost of Face Kid, he is able to get the DRS, which I think he does. Yes, indeed, it will be hard for Sealand to go for the overtake when Mr. Pizza has the DRS around the inside. Sealand did have a little bit more juice in that battery, but Mr. Pizza closed off the racing line perfectly as he manages to get ahead, currently in P4. Feeling this time going extremely wide. As Janice is what I'm noticing slowly closing the gap between him and Matman. But will it be enough to do in 4 laps? Sealand kind of messes up his exit into the straight. He will have the DRS. Stick close enough. Try and close that gap again that he just made. As he is able to, using up a lot of his battery though, which is not ideal. Mr. Pizza is almost within the second of Janice. Janice barely able to escape the DRS toe of Mr. Pizza, as Sealand puts the pressure back onto Mr. Pizza. This time from too far away, wasn't able to make it work, used up all his battery. We will have to wait for the rest of the next lap. And what do I spy with my little eye right here? Tico in a battle with his teammate right now. Even though Tico has a 3-second penalty, it seems like he wants to go for the overtake. As we still have Sealand and Mr. Pizza battling it out. Pizza currently finding himself within the DRS zone off Janice. Let's see what the Red Bulls are able to do. As here comes Tico, gets by Dutch Tricks, as he will probably gift a toe for Dutch Tricks in the second DRS zone. Sealand had a bit of a bad exit throughout that chicane, as Janice is now under pressure from Mr. Pizza and Sealand, who both have a penalty. What I think is that it might be smart for Janice if the pressure becomes real bad to just let them pass, because both of them have penalties. Within the lines and stays close enough together, he will have P3 for him again. Here we go, Mr. Pizza getting real close to the back of Janice. Slight contact between the two from what I could tell, as Mr. Pizza just really wants to get by. He really needs that. We have 2 more laps to go. Lumbergumber currently on almost 2-second gap between him and P2, as Janice is fighting for his life. Currently in P3. Of course, Mr. Pizza doesn't want to stick behind here, as Tico is closing the gap quite quickly as he bombed himself around the inside. Mr. Pizza will not have he will have the DRS, never mind. I stand corrected, as Janice drops down further, as he wasn't the one to be able to get DRS. Sealand also has come knocking on the door of Janice. Mr. Pizza just wants to get by. He will barely not have the toe, the DRS of Matman, who is right ahead, as Sealand is now trying to put his luck down to second straight, as we had slight contact between Sealand and Janice, as they both try to push as much juice out of that car, as Janice drops down yet another position. But as long as he sticks close enough and the gap doesn't grow between Sealand and Mr. Pizza, it will be Janice still on P3. However, Mr. Pizza is closing the gap yet again between him and Matman. Matman is struggling to find the grip which he needs to try and stay ahead of his grab rather quickly. Two tenths between the two, Sealand on about half a second. Will Mr. Pizza do the same? Really aggressive push down the inside, slight contact and push forward for Matman. Because of that, Mr. Pizza has the DRS already right besides the Racing Bull, as Matman can do anything but, I guess, can't do anything but follow. And hopefully pushes lock on the next straight. Mr. Pizza sliding out a tiny bit. Going into the chicane, has a little bit more battery left than Matman. However, Matman will have the DRS. Same for Sealand. Sealand, will it push his luck here as well? Outside, out of the juice. He doesn't have the battery percentage, which he needs to battle it out as Batman makes a mistake. Flicking a bit too hard into that corner, causing himself to slide out and lose the speed that he needed oh so badly to try and stay ahead of Sealand. Sealand now closer than ever, right back behind Matman. Matman losing the time that he needs to stay within the DRS zone compared to Mr. Pizza. Mr. Pizza could use his time to get ahead and win some positions to make up for the penalty that he has gotten. Lumbergumber up about 1.7 seconds with Mr. Pizza closing in quick. Sealand losing the grip, which he needs to try and stay close to Batman. Going into the last lap of the race, this will be really close as we have a lot of cars joining the next top 6, almost all within the DRS zone, as Mr. Pizza is getting closer and closer than ever compared to the back of Lumbergumber, as Batman is just losing time, the valuable time that he needs to try and get close into that DRS zone. Both Sealand and Tico have a 3-second penalty. It probably won't do much, but Matman wants to stick as close as possible to Mr. Pizza to hopefully end up ahead of him. He doesn't want to risk losing time on battling. He doesn't want to be outside of that 3 seconds, which is a penalty that Mr. Pizza has. Lumbergumber on about 1.2 seconds. Sealand already really close with the DRS, getting ahead of Matman. Same for Tico, flying past him. Matman now in some serious trouble. If he loses 0.7 of a second, he is outside of that position to be P2, as everybody ahead of him has a 3-second penalty. Mr. Pizza within the DRS zone of Lumbergumber. Sealand 2.3 seconds behind. This might be bad. This might be really bad for Batman, as he might drop down to P3, possibly P4, as we have Lumbergumber crossing the finish line, being the winner of the Yes Marina Circuit race, as Batman finds himself still in P3, barely behind Mr. Pizza. Oh, Mr. Pizza was able to squeeze out the speed that he needed to be P2, making it up for the penalty that he had. Yeah, now it is everybody else going across the track and going across the finish line. What a banger of an ending. Mr. Pizza working his way through the top 10 at the very end, finally being able to squeeze out that speed to land himself on the podium, and not just on the podium, but on P2. Impressive. As that is your ace staring into the wall, colliding with the wall, trying to be interesting, I guess, as both, of course, are outside of the points. What a race. As we will be looking at the standings, as it is Lumbergumber winning the Grand Prix for today. Pretty impressive, although it isn't like an easy track to race. So definitely impressive from all of the drivers to be able to finish the race. And of course, kind of with the lack of penalties, I kind of suspected more penalties, as we tend to have. But here we go. Here we have the standings or at least the results of the race. As we have Lumbergummer winning the race with Mr. Pizza right back behind Batman on P3, with Janet and Sealand to close off the top 5. Then we have Dutch Tricks, Deco, CWL, Arthur on P9, and Max Stewart to close off the top 10. Then we have Nat Northern, Pure Ace, and then Face Kid, who was not really racing. But still, both Red Bulls right beside each other. With the qualifying that we had and the short race, it is still pretty impressive for them to end on the position. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a blast like I did. What a race, especially with the sprint race added on top of it. But I hope to see you all next time. We do have a few other commentators commentating on different days, so please look out forward to that. We hope to see you all soon. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Ciao!